Who is Randy?
Don't bring anyone mother into this.
Yo, mom in the fucking stand!
By the way, you know Potter. Did you know that he can't come?
Where?
Josh Potter can get it up.
And he can't ejaculate.
With a girl, no.
Tremendous. That's even better.
He wants to, though.
Who wants to come?
He wants to.
I want to drill a hole in their fucking eyes that they can't take it no more. You know what I'm saying? When you're fucking them and their one eyeball's hanging out. And they're like, when are you going to come? Because I come quick.
Yeah.
I come in a minute. So if I could come in...
Right there with you, brother.
If I could come in 20 minutes and just keep giving you dick going from pussy to asshole to mouth, back to your fucking pussy.
Joey.
Drill it back to your ass.
That's what you're doing? That's what you're doing?
That's my fantasy. If I couldn't come for an hour, hitting you in the face, making you suck it, popping it out, hitting you, you're like confused. You don't know where you're going.
Licking
so he's
toilets.
never come?
He's right here. He's right there. Talk to him.
That's how it usually goes, by the way.
Yeah, that's it. It's an hour of fucking straight
But he can only come if he jerks off. He can't.
Okay, then when you want to come, after the chick is laying there like she got shot in Vegas, you know what I'm saying? Like she's laying there, the one leg is hanging, you know what I'm saying? Her mouth is stretched out, her asshole, it's still open like a dragon's mouth. You know, when you fuck him in the asshole stays open.
Do I?
And then just laying there drinking milk, trying to recoup and shit. You're giving them like Gatorade, then you just jerk off on the tits. And call it a night.
There you go, man. Why are we even trying to solve this problem?
Dude, I don't think it's a problem anymore.
It's not a problem.
You don't?
No, yeah.
No.
I don't know. Joey's convinced me. I mean, I want to just mangle some.
If you told
bros.
3 chicks that you couldn't come, that you could give them each dick for an hour, you could get all 3 of them to show up at once and just keep going like Don Henley style. You ever read that book? You won't work in this town again. It came out in '98 about a hooker who wrote about all her experiences, and she wrote about Don Henley. That she would go to Don Henley would order 4 bitches, and he would sit there at his table like this was his table, and that's a fireplace. He would make them bend over. Don't even look at me. He wouldn't even let them look at him. Just look towards the fireplace and bend over. And he'd do lines of coke, and then get up, open up his robe, and stick it in you like 4 times. Then he'd sit back down again, and he'd do a couple more lines, and he'd have you there for 8 hours.
This
Just
could be your
bend
life.
over.
This could be your life, Josh.
God, I hope so. That's someday.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Like when I was younger and I did coke, there was dick for fucking 4 hours.
Yeah.
You just were giving out dick. They're looking at you like, when is this gonna stop? And then when you do come, it's one of those long loads.
Yeah.
You ever have those loads? Like I used to be on probation, and there was a dude that was like a G.I. Joe dude that failed the police test, but his assistant was a good-looking woman. Like she was kind of cute. If I was 30, she was like 38. Nobody talked to her in Boulder because she had like a wooden leg. Like her leg was kind of like she had like that little limp. But you could tell the bitch had game. Like she could suck a cock. I would look in the eyes and I could tell this bitch is deadly. But nobody talks to her because of the fucking wooden leg. Or whatever the fuck she's got. She got shot in Vietnam. I didn't know what happened to her. And she was very nice. I forget what her name was. I'd see her. I'd always flirt with her. But when I was doing... And I was in the probation, I figured out how to fuck with the piss test. I'm uncircumcised, so I would take like fucking pool cleaner and put it on my dick and then pull the skin over it and put like a tab over it, like a bread tab, like a fucking rubber band. And then when I would go pee, the guy would watch me. And I would take the thing out and just pee and then pull the skin back. And all the pool cleaner would go into the fucking thing, and then I would zap the machine. They would always say to me, this motherfucker's up to something. So he asked her, he goes, maybe you could see what the fuck he's doing. So I knew when I would call and go, I'll be there at 4, because they would call you, and then you had to call a machine that would tell you what color was up. Mm-hmm. And if the color came up, let's say your color is maroon, and they go, today's colors are green, maroon, and black, you would have to call in and tell them what time you're coming in. You had till 5 o'clock, but you had to make an appointment. Then she'd tell you, no. If he answered, that means he was going to watch you while you're pissed. But with me, they had mirrors around me. They couldn't figure out what I was doing, so they sent her in. So before I would go in, I'd fucking do a half a jerk in the car and get my dick nice and big.
Yeah.
And then I'd sprinkle it the fucking...
pool cleaner?
The pool cleaner or the fucking...
Doesn't sting your dick, the pool
cleaner?
cleaner?
It did. I got scars. I got little holes in my dick and Drano.
Yeah.
I would grind it up. I would fucking put it under my dick and then pull the skin back and it would fall into the piss test and zap it. But before I would piss, I would take the hammer out and show it to her. Like, what do you think? What do you think? There's something nice. And she would look at it and look around the room. And not like I knew I was going to end up sleeping with her or swapping spit with her because I flirt with her. Nobody talked to the woman because she had a fucked up leg. So I'm off probation. I'm delivering Chinese food. And I'm slinging coke at the same time at the Chinese restaurant. So I would have you call the Chinese restaurant and say, "Can I talk to Joey? Yeah, what's up? Oh, you want egg drop soup? Whatever." The cocaine would be hidden under the egg drop soup, so that if I got in trouble, the Chinese people got in trouble. I didn't put it in the bag. This was when I was out already, out of prison. One night I knock on the door, and who answers the door? It's her. And she goes, "Oh my God, it's so great to see you. How have you been?" And I go, "It's great to see you." Man, I gave her a hug, and I put the Chinese down, and she goes, "What are you doing with your life?" I go, "I'm getting divorced, but I got into stand-up comedy, and I'm trying to deliver food to make a living." And she's like, "Oh, that's so sweet. You and her broke up? Oh, you must need a hug." And as I started hugging her, we started swapping spit. And I touched a little monkey, and I could feel nobody had even touched a monkey in like 10 years. Steam started coming up. And I started fingering that motherfucker like a savage and swapping spit with her. And my hand was nice and wet, and I'm fingering it. I got a pinky surrounding her asshole. And I'm working, and finally I put it down slowly. And I pop her pants. I take her tit out. She's got one big fucking tit. I'm sucking her tits. And I'm making out with her. And I'm fingering at the same time. So while I'm fingering her, I take her pants down. But I go, I don't want to see what the other leg is. So I took the leg off of the good leg. And I left the fucking bad leg covered because I don't want to know what it is. If she's got like a pole under there, one of those fucked up feet. So I picked up her fucking legs and I started eating her pussy. And the clit fucking was huge. I'm sucking at her like a piece of bubble gum. I look up at her and she's like this, Christine, like with her mouth open. I go, now's the time to put the helmet in that fucking mouth. So I switched up. I started two-finger Louie her, and I went around her, and I put that fucking hammer in her mouth, and she didn't know what to do. She's like, and at that time, I was trying to fucking lift weights and shit, so I wasn't jerking off, because somebody told me not to jerk off, that your protein, I was retarded, dog. You know, I'm retarded. And when I came in the mouth, it was one of those loads, Christine, that don't stop. You ever have one of those things?
I know, Christine.
And you're sucking it with your eyes closed, and then after a minute, you open it up, because you're like, when is this going to stop? And I could look at her swallowing it, and it was endless. It was fucking endless. It was just a load of death. It was like a month and a half of not coming. There was Valium in there and Xanax and fucking
Well, it's
cocaine.
been nice seeing you, Joey. Thanks for stopping by.
I shot a load in the mouth, and when I took my dick out, she went, ah. It was like she drank a gallon of Mountain Dew. She looked at me. She started getting a little dizzy.
Oh, my God.
I was selling Valium at the time. I was taking like 100 milligrams of Valium a night. When I shot in her mouth to put her in a trance, she was glassy-eyed. She gave me a $3 tip, and I left, and I never saw her again. She must have ate that Chinese food and slept for a week.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
You got any dates coming up you want to put on?
You can still
You got a Twitter
feel,
handle?
You
You
can
wanna
still
plug
feel what
that?
that nut felt like, I bet, right?
it was like a 3-minute nut.
But wait a minute, you didn't even bang her? You
No,
didn't put it in her
no.
vagine?
No.
No,
Well, that's-
Let me
He
tell you, the
unloaded
pussy
it.
eating was tremendous.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I licked her asshole.
Sorry, I blacked out at some point. I didn't
No,
listen
sure.
closely.
Once I
enough.
shove my tongue in your ass, you black out. It's like you're 14 and your uncle's molesting you. You know. You just black out and let happen what's gonna happen anyway.
This is too good. Oh, man. You're
Fuck
the
it.
best.
Take a shower.
Fuck it.
Joey Diaz, Church of What's Happening Now.
Whew, he needs to go to church after that. You got to
You
repent,
go to
son.
see him at the Comedy Store. Go to his dates. Where did you have a website? I don't forget.
JoeyDiaz.net.
Jeez.
You're the best. You're the best.
So are you guys.
I love you so
Love you,
much.
Joey.
Christine, you lived that load when I was saying it. That's why.
I did not
It
live
took you
the
back
love.
to college like
I
one
did
time.
not. I did not.
When you got a bad
She used to
batch
fuck
of
a lot of Puerto
Hungarian
Ricans.
dick.
I
Yeah.
like
That was the
Puerto
Puerto
Ricans.
Ricans.
Yeah, you got a bad batch of those Platanito sperm where you just kept fucking swallowing, saying this is the worst pina colada I've ever had.
Hi, Jeans. Did you like that highlight? Well, you can watch an entire episode here or more highlights here, but definitely subscribe here. That way you can, get the latest videos as they drop. For real, 4 strokes.